Welcome to ReFrench Your Brain. Bienvenue, a session where you can stretch your brain and presented by Oli. Don't forget to embark your heart. Let's go! Hello everyone! So I'm just going to check 1 2 if I am live on LinkedIn. I hope that I am. I decided to start it beforehand and I am live. So it's amazing. Wow. So here is me, really raw, and it works. So I'm just going now to focus on delivering, and feel free to join the stage. I placed that in the comment right now. Hopefully, here is the link to go to the stage. And so you are welcome. This is Tuesday, and I decided from already 1 or 2 days ago to only do it on Tuesday and to provide snippets, videos of 5 or 10 minutes on a daily basis, but no more daily stream. So it will be the ReFrench Your Brain will be only on Tuesday. And so I'm happy to welcome the replay team. I'm happy to welcome also the people that are live. And I will welcome soon my precious guest, Sharon. And right now I'm going to dive into some technicalities. And so feel free to join the stage at any time because this is not my session, this is our session. So here you see also right now, hopefully it will work, the QR code here. Scan your QR code and you can join the stage at any time. And there is also the link on the comments, and also on my feed I posted the link about this event. So thank you so much for watching me. At any point you are really welcome to ask me any question, to give me any comment, to give me also the instrument that you would like to delve in French, because this theme I decided this week will be an encore week, encore in French, which means again, about orchestra. And I was talking about violon, I was talking about flute, about hautbois, about clarinet, and there are many trumpet also, many instruments. And so maybe you know the equivalent in English, like trumpet, oboe, hautbois, clarinet, flute. So some instruments are totally different from the English and the French. Others are having the same, at some point different, but the same. So I'm happy to delve more in the session. I'm not going to bombard you with all the Wikipedia or whatever. It's you that is able to interact with me. And so hopefully that I will be able to have some people on stage and some comments and some questions. So always welcome to ask me any question. I'm just going if there are some remaining of what I was talking about. So yes, there is a trumpet, which is trumpet, cymbal, which is cymbal, and one cymbal, two cymbals. Then there is the violin, which is violon. Then flute, which is different than flute, by instance. FLOU is flute, FLU is flute. So it's really, it was to pinpoint that. And then there is it's all. but there are probably dozens and hundreds of different instruments. So, for instance, there is a guitar, which is guitar. There is also harmonica, which is harmonica, uh, harp, which is harp. We don't pronounce the H, by the way. So, at any point, let me check in the chat. This is only my comment about joining the stage. So I dropped a comment to join the stage. Feel free to link in that. Oh, Sharon is there. Happy. I was not seeing you yet. So thank you so much for joining and for shouting in the chat. Welcome, Sharon.
Hi, Ali. It is so great to see you today. How are you?
I am fine. I'm happy. And you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Hmm.
It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for understanding my need to be tardy today. But I had something back to back with this, so I appreciate
Hmm.
your understanding, but I am grateful to be here as always. And
Yeah,
yeah.
you are never too late. You are just chocolate. And I still have, I think after this session, I'm going to go to the supermarket because I still have chocolate, but it's the last piece.
Oh, then
So,
you need to replenish your stock.
exactly. So this is my last piece. It's like I was feeling like
Nurture it.
the I was feeling like Ice Age. This is the last pastèque. Ah! So it's like the same scene, So
Yep.
ah, mm. Tell me a bit about you right now while I'm digesting the chocolate.
Okay. So a little bit about me. Well, you know a lot about me, sir, but I think that like you, I'm in a I'm in an evolutionary phase. I know we're evolving every day, but I find myself being in an evolutionary phase of really looking at where I want to be and how I want to get there. And I am definitely being more mindful and intentional with what I do with my time and how I utilize my time. Um, and it feels good. It feels good. It feels in doing that. It feels like a weight has lifted off my shoulders. Um, and I'm just allowing myself the freedom and the grace to do the things that I need to do for myself and want to do for others in a way that's less um how do I say this? Less I'm very hard, like we've talked about this, Ali, and I don't mind sharing this with your audience. I can tend to be very hard on myself. I'm a lot harder on myself than I am on other people. I'm a lot more gentle and kind with other people. And so I'm really being intentional with being gentle and kind with myself and adapting, being okay with the way that I need to adapt my life and how I get things done. It may not be how society would think that I should get things done, but if that's what works for me and that's what I need to do, um, just really kind of stepping into that, if that makes sense. And, you know, so I think, when you asked me to tell you a little bit more about me, that's really where I am right now. Is, you know, being more intentional with my time, which includes working, it includes self-care, but it also includes, you know, taking care of the house and just different things, like of course there are times in our life where everything is where maybe the dishes are going to stay in the sink or something like that, right? But I have learned that if I let the house go too much per se because I'm focused on work, which is very important to me because helping others is very important, then it gets way out of control. And then it's much better if I keep it clean, not that it was ever dirty, but if I keep it organized and clean by by giving that attention every day or every other day, as opposed to letting something build up, it becomes a lot harder to deal with, if that makes sense. Mentally, and in my case, also physically, because I am physically limited, because as you know, I'm a full time wheelchair user. So the way that I have to go about cleaning is different, and it takes me longer than it would somebody who has more physical use of their body. So it's just about just really refocusing and redesigning, um, how I approach my daily life, and in giving myself that gift, that freedom, I feel like a really, like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
Well, I'm really happy to have such kind of news about that because it's you to soar, and there is like Sharon, SOAR, soar, to soar. It's on your first name, SOAR. There's just an H and an N that is added to that, but you are meant to soar, no matter what, to rise above the broken rails and to do with the cards that you have in your hand, the orchestra that you have at disposal. I'm going back to orchestra because it's really like to listen to our orchestra and to realize that if we don't have so much drums, we do what we have. So if we have
Hmm.
just one drum instead of 5, 6, 10, 20, if we don't have all the instrument on at hand, then we are doing with what we have, and we are probably not able to have a full 80 players orchestra. If we have already
Hmm.
20, it's already amazing. There are some people that
Hmm.
have not 2 or 3 players, and they are requesting 2 or 3 players to play 50 instruments. That's not fair. So it's really to decide um, which um, instrument we want in orchestra and what kind of partition we want to play. We can play Coldplay or Radiohead on our orchestra, or we can play Bach or Mozart or Chopin or whatever. So
Hmm.
it's really to do with what we have and to say thank God I have 2 hands to conduct my orchestra. Thank God that I have the instrument that I need so that I can perform to an audience. So
Hmm.
um, based on the language, on the power of words, and on the orchestra, what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Is that what you said?
Y- Yeah.
So my thoughts are that words are very powerful, and I've always felt that way. You know, and I think for me, one of the things that I had to learn was that words are powerful, that we use towards other, how we communicate to other people. But equally important is that the words that we use to talk to ourselves are very powerful. Um, and often, I know I see this with my clients, and I've seen it in my own life. Oftentimes, we take over in our own, with our, with where other people have left off. So, like for instance, if my ex-husband was very critical and very verbally abusive, actually, and when he first left, I still I took over where he left off. You know what I'm saying? So I still remain very critical of myself, because I was telling myself the things he was telling me, even though I didn't believe them fully. I I did believe them enough to be telling myself those things about myself. So words are very powerful, and I love the analogy of the orchestra, because I think that our words are like a symphony, you know? Our words can either be very beautiful, and very nurturing and very empowering, or our words can be more like a symphony, a piece in a symphony where you hear that powerful music, the powerful, drumming, and the dramatic, the really dramatic sound. And so when you ask me, what are my thoughts of the power of words and the feeling of the orchestra and this, it brought me right back to a symphony. And I do believe that our words are music. I mean, literally and figuratively, because our words make up the lyrics of a song, right? But figuratively speaking as well, our words are very much so, you know, involved in the symphony of our life and in our mind, you know. Um, so I think that our words also, they our words often dictate, for lack of a better word right now, how we orchestrate our life. And when you think of the word orchestrate, for me, I think of an orchestra, right? Because an orchestra is putting the pieces of music together, all those instruments together to make one sound, with it all coming together, right? So the words we use, the words we tell ourselves, are the words we're going to use. They're the roadmap we're going to use to orchestrate our life, how we move through our life. So I think it's all pretty profound, actually. I never really thought about it this way until you asked me the question. So I appreciate the question, and I appreciate how your questions always make me think. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts.
Thank you so much. And I love, by the way, the richness of the vocabulary, whether it's in French or in English, because there are nuances. It's like a violin as it's the name for the instrument. By instance, here I show the text here, which is in French, violon, violin. But there are probably 20 or even 50 different violins. There are even other instruments that are looking like violin, but they
Hmm.
are too big to be called violin. Like there is the contrabass
Uh
in
huh.
French, which is a kind of violin, but you have to stand up to play it. You cannot
Yeah, my
put your
actually my son played that in America. Here in the U.S., it's called the bass.
yeah,
Um,
the bass, yeah, indeed. And what I like is that it's really rare that I was seeing a bass played with what do we call archet in English? The
oh,
little
I know the bow, right?
oh yeah,
The
yeah. Okay, I need to recall that. But most of the time, I was hearing that on a jazz setting, and on a jazz setting, they were just playing with the finger. Tung, 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 tung,
Yeah.
tung. So it's really amazing that there in the simple instrument there are multiple sizes, so multiple names.
Mm-hmm.
There is also the violoncello, which is another kind of violin. And
Mm-hmm.
there is also the piccolo. So there are multiple
Yep.
types, multiple sizes. There is one that you can play sit, which is a bit smaller than the bass.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the violin, there is a vocabulary. It's not like
Yep.
no. There
Yep.
are also there are the different sounds. There is also the timbre that you can do, and then there is also the way that you can play the violin, ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
with the bow. So it's a vocabulary, and we can go on depth about that just for the violin instrument. So imagine you have 80 instruments, and in each of that you have different dictionaries. It's like having 80 different dictionaries, because there is so much like in the symbols. There is also a way to play the symbols, like the handpan. I was really amazed because with the it's a kind of a recent instrument where you have you have like a kind of a UFO instrument, and you are playing drums with your fingers,
Mm-hmm.
and you approach it different ways on your fingers. It brings different sounds, different resonances. So you it's really a galaxy, and in the galaxy you have different Milky Ways, and in the Milky Ways you have different solar systems and the different
Mm-hmm.
planets, and then within the planet you have different atmosphere, different continents. So it's really wow. There is like millions of different combinations that you can use. And I'm, for instance, if I show you that, you know the word in English because it's similar. Like there is also
Trumpet.
yeah,
Trumpet.
yeah, and this one,
Cymbals.
yeah, symbols, and then this one is quite the most easy.
Flute.
Voilà, flute. So it's like the word just after is the way that most of English people are pronouncing the U, but the U is not U, it's U. So that's the most
Mhm.
difficult. Yeah, like there's just, for instance, vous and vu.
So flute.
Yeah, vous
Tap.
is the plural or the polite of you.
Okay.
Like
Cool.
vous êtes là, you are here. But vu is to see. And there is a word that is like je vous ai vu.
So that means to
I
see.
saw I saw you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen you.
Just have seen you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
the u and the u are different. So it's not flute, it's flute.
So it's, say it again.
Flute.
Flute. Flute.
Voilà. Flute. Voilà. Try to sing.
Ooh. Right.
That's the most
Okay.
difficult part. That's the most difficult part in English for people that are speaking French. So aside that, I was a bit like late on showing my event, so I don't think there will be people watching right now. But replay team are welcome. And so, if you have a question later on to Sharon, feel free to share on to us, not only to me, but to Sharon, but to us. Share on. So I'm really happy because I'm joking with your first name, but it's really to have some pancakes, and I think I'm going
It's
to
okay. You know I love your pancakes. You know that.
yeah, yeah, both the pancakes and the pancakes.
Love them both.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite instrument in the orchestra?
Oh wow. Um, I well, see, I love music, so it's really hard for me to pick a favorite instrument, but I do think that I favor the strings. Um, like the violin, the bass. Um, but I also very much so like the wind instruments, but I do think that I favor the string instruments, you know. Um,
Hmm.
I've always I've just liked the way they sound, you know. When I was younger, I played guitar. I mean, I know this instrument's not in the orchestra, but when I was younger, I played the guitar. Um, I played keyboard. Um, those are things I'd like to get back to, actually. But I've always enjoyed the string instruments. How about you?
Well, what, before I'm going to share, I wonder why do you like so much the strings?
I love the I love the versatility of the sound that you can get from them. You can get some very dramatic sound from the strings. Have you ever watched a violinist play like a very intense sounding uh, piece, or you can get a very peaceful sound from the strings and everything in between. You know, so I
Hmm.
think I think that's why. I think it's the versatility of the strings that I think attracts me to them, and the range of
Mm.
sound.
Yeah, I'm just out of your you seeing you because I'm checking the Wikipedia version of strings because I wonder maybe this is the same word in French, but and of course obviously I always land to other things than the things that I'm searching because I
Hmm.
see, yeah, I'm going to check on Wikipedia because, of course, there is things orchestra. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just going to right now. Yeah,
So
because
the strings in English refer to like the all the violins and all the bass, like all the things that would fall under that, under that category. Um,
mm,
and then like the wind instruments are like the flute, the clarinet, the the trumpet, the what do you call that thing? The trombone. Those would be wind instruments.
yeah, here, for instance, I have this on Wikipedia,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm just sharing if it's really that because I was thinking more about which I call a triangle. Maybe I was making confusion about that because for
The
me it was,
triangle, you mean the triangle?
yeah,
The instrument? That's
yeah.
actually considered a percussion instrument.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Mm,
That's in the drum family, believe it
mm.
or not.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. So I'm just going to see if they show it. No, but it's okay. I'm going to stop the share. Um, yeah, so it's a kind of a guitar then.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then
So, like,
because
go ahead.
yeah, yeah, you can continue.
No, I was just gonna say. So strings, they do the string instruments include guitar, violin, the bass violin, and all of those.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I believe I
I
believe that I think that the piano is even considered a string instrument, but I'm not sure.
yes, yes.
Um,
In fact, I was a bit like maybe I was distracted or I was in my thoughts because I was not catching. It's really important this because it's about catching and not confusing with something else. Because when I in fact in French strings is chord, so it's a kind of a similar of chord, the
mhm,
chord, but in French is a chord like this one. And so now I understand because strings could be violin, could be also at some point there is also instruments that are percussions but having
mhm,
strings.
right.
Like there are instruments that are you are having chords
Mhm,
and you do with a drumstick.
mhm,
So there is like it's kind of a blur family because there is the string family um, that is that you go to touch but not percute. But then there
mhm,
is the strings that you are drumming. So
mhm.
it's really interesting. It's really there is no black and white. For instance, there is the
Yep.
in the orchestra. It's called the wood instrument. Uh,
Mhm.
but nowadays there are many wood instruments that are built on metals.
Right. Right.
But now they are still called the wood because historically they were made on wood.
Right.
So that's why even like nowadays there is the clarinet and the oboe that is made on metals,
Yeah.
but they are still called the wood instruments.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey. Kaylin, how are you?
Yay, Kaylin, thank you for making it. And if you
Thank
are
you for
ready,
joining us.
yeah, you can also join the stage if you want. I placed the link on the comments. So
How
I'm
are
really
you doing, Kaylin?
even off camera, you are free to join us to interact about the orchestra. And I was placing some vocabulary in French, but I'm really happy to read or hear from you. So you are welcome to also join the stage at any time. We will end this session in 30 minutes, so it's an 1 hour session. We are doing fine, and
Yes, we are.
I wish you are too. It's really a blessing to see you.
I echo everything that Ollie just said. It's a blessing to see you. I have missed you, and I hope that you are doing well.
Me too. Really happy to touch the strings with you, to touch the chord, to have the this connection, this bum, 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 bum. And so the strings. Do you have one favorite instrument in the strings in particular?
I do. It's not necessarily in the orchestra, but I love the guitar.
Hmm.
I love the guitar.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm. Oh, okay. It's incredible right now because I'm going to check because it's an album, but it was not. Ah, yeah, okay. I know why. I was just going to share the guitar article from Wikipedia. So bear with me because there are multiple types of guitars, and I
mm-hmm.
love that because it's such an amazing universe.
Yep. My favorite guitar is the I'll think of it. Oh my god. The word just escaped me. Give me a second. The
Mhm.
acoustic guitar is my favorite guitar.
Ah, yeah. So here you see a screen here,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to. It's okay if we are small. And I'm going to right now go to the full article, and this is in English, by the way. But there is also the article in French, and I wonder if they are as much complete as in English. Probably not. But here, no, that's the album. That's why I don't like. Yeah, it's because it's in French. You add an e, and then you have the article with the guitar. That's it. And so here
Mm-hmm.
you have different pictures, and this is one that is in the La joueuse de guitare
Mm-hmm.
before 1670. So that was the guitar in that epoch in the 17th century. That's incredible.
Wow.
So that was the guitar before, was like still 4 chords, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really impressive. The modern guitar, the folk guitar that you see in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course the electric guitar,
Yep.
and of course we have different elements. And to picture the different nouns in French, the
Mm-hmm.
one is manche. I don't know what is the that in English when you see the one. What is the term in English for the whole?
For this guitar, it looks like the acoustic guitar.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm really curious to hear from you what are the different elements in English.
Uh the okay, so the bar, the handle bar thing
Hmm.
is that's where the frets are, the lines that are on the lines that are on this
Hmm.
part. Um there's lines on it, and those are called the frets. And then
Hmm.
the the strings are the part that's attached. That part that you strum is the strings.
Mm-hmm.
This is the body of the guitar. Um, and the hole in the middle, I think it has a name, but I don't remember what it's called. But that hole actually has a purpose. When you strum on the strings and you hold the strings in a certain with by the certain frets, um, you know, that hole also creates a certain sound
Mm-hmm.
depending on what strings you're holding. So yeah.
Yeah. So
So um,
by instance, the sixth is in French the rosace. You see the
yep,
rosace.
yep, yep, um,
Then there is the five is called le fond, which is the back of the guitar.
yep.
And then the four is called le talon, which is just out there on the top, the number four.
Hmm.
And it's kind of complex because sometimes I don't. It's the first time that I see like by instance la frette. It's the number three. The number three is
Hmm.
frette in French. So it's really the vocabulary is amazing when you see the guitar and like you have all the details in English and in French. And here is the jazz guitar,
Yep.
classic for the guitar. And then there is the word clay, which is a keys, I think, in English, and it's used to set up the different sounds because I think it's about making the chord more loose or
Yes,
more
that's exactly what it is.
yeah.
When you
So
when you when you tighten your string, when you what's the word? When you I can't think of the word. When you I can't think of the word, but the the keys on the top of the of the where the frets are, those knobs, they're called your keys, and you
mm,
tune your guitar by turning those, and that will make sure that your guitar is in tune with with the music, with the way it's supposed to sound. And you can
mm,
use a tuning fork. They have in English, they're called a tuning fork. There's something that you can buy. It's like a metal thing. It
mm.
kind of looks like a fork, literally, but it's just got two prongs. And when you when you when you listen to that, right, when you strike that, it will tell you how your guitar is supposed to sound, so you can tune it to a tuning fork if you don't have anything else to tune it with. Otherwise, you can tune your guitar. A lot of people tune it to the letter E of a piano.
Yeah, and it's really amazing because just for this instrument, the guitar, there is such a repertoire. I love also because it's a French word. In
Hmm.
English is a répertoire in French, and
Hmm.
it's really the knowledge of the guitar players, the guitarists in French,
Yep.
and it's really it takes years and years to master one type of guitar and probably even to dive in different types of guitars. And
Hmm.
it's such amazing because it's really the mastery is to really embody the guitar and to not only think and reflect but to also embody,
Hmm.
to really to let the body learn because the body is learning aside the brain. And so
Hmm.
it's really amazing because the word keys in the guitars have not the same functions as the word keys in the oboe, for instance, le hautbois or the flute. There are also modern flutes that have keys, and in that the wind instrument, the keys are there to open or close the holes.
Mm-hmm.
And in the
Yep.
guitar, it's just for letting the chords set up the chords. So it's really amazing. But in so same term could have different meanings. And of course, there is the keys of our in our pocket to open our doors,
Yep.
and and then the keywords. So there are many for the same word, which is a clé. And by the way, in French, it's CLEF, but it's also CLA accent. So there are two
Wow.
different ways of making that word. And so here you see the different article with the different explanations. And then here you see what's called a manche, that is really screwed. I think the word in English it's screwed on the base.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really amazing because you can dive in many different types of elements, of keywords, beautiful pictures, and different diapason in French, different of resonances.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really amazing. I love that article. It's quite complex. And here the touche avec the insert. So you can have also English terms in French, because probably they didn't find appropriate word in English in French.
Translation. Mm-hmm.
But maybe in Canada there are French words they invented. There are more touchy in French in Canada than in France, by the way. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the movies that I see in English getting out in Belgium and in French, in France as their French names in Canada. So they are much even touchy in Canada.
Interesting.
Yeah. So here you see seven strings for the
Mm-hmm.
electrical guitar. That's amazing because usually it's five, four, five. And here you see that famous painting, the guitar player,
Mm-hmm.
in the 1908. So you see a small difference since two centuries.
Yep.
Yeah, and so here you have the sound of the guitar, accordage, the chord.
Yep. When I learned how to read music and I learned the letters, I learned it as every good boy does fine. So, um, for the lines,
Yeah,
and then the spaces were the word face, FACE.
yeah. And here you have all the notes. Can you, just for fun, just for playing, do the notes in the different seven notes?
Oh, it's been a long time, but I'll give it a try. So I don't. I know that. I think that. Um, I don't remember what the first two are, but I think the third one is a G, if I remember correctly. The
No, no,
lower
I
G.
was no, no, I
Oh,
was telling the sound. I will model it in French. In French is do re mi fa sol la si do. I wonder if there is another way to say it in English.
no, that's actually the way we learn.
Yeah, but maybe with
But
the English accent.
well, okay, so it would be do re mi fa sol la ti do. That's how we would. That's
Ah,
how.
well. So here
Yeah.
you say chido, no sido.
Do. It's like do re mi fa sol la ti do.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, because here in French we say si, do re mi fa sol la si do.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see the difference. So
Yep.
we are still live. Feel free to post any comment or any question to us, and we are going to end the room in 15 minutes. So with that, I'm just going to the end of the article, and I'm going to see. Ooh, first time that I see that word, codast.
Oh, the picks. You're
Yeah,
talking about the picks?
yeah, I was not knowing that that exists. Hmm. Capo, transpose the music through without the finger. So yeah,
Hmm.
I was not knowing that. By the way, I'm learning also as I do. So there are some accessories: capodastre,
Yeah.
electre, or mediator.
These things that look like kind of hearts and stuff. They're the pick. They're what you use to pluck your strings.
Hmm.
I mean, some people use their fingers, but it's better to use a pick.
Maybe because your fingers are tied.
Yeah. Well, also your
And then
fingers. Yeah.
there is this one also. There is this one that,
Yeah. Yep. That also is a pick, but it's a different type of pick for the banjo.
yeah. And then there's also this one that is really famous.
Oh yeah, that's the tuning fork that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
This thing here,
Uh,
that's a tuning fork.
the rest is not so much. And of course, for protecting our guitars, it's important because we don't want to have our instrument on the
Oh,
street, you know. So we have to protect that. And
oh,
so
sorry.
yeah,
Excuse me.
it's okay. And so I'm going to end this article. Ooh, that's really interesting. Lear guitar. That's a guitar with three different bars and three different set of chords.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
That's
kind of
interesting.
that's fancy, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know
And
that I've ever
so
seen that before.
yeah, and so it's a Lear. It's a different types of guitar, by the way. Just going to
Hmm.
go quicker here because here you see a Lear, and I wonder because there's such an article with that, and so I'm going to just check the pictures. Yeah, it's not so much used nowadays, but I'm checking if there are instrument about that. Ah, yeah, this one. You see a picture with someone playing. It's a kind of
Oh, the heart, the
yeah, but
heart.
it's different than the harp, but it seems as family. So it's really amazing because it's really uh, between the harp and the guitar.
Hmm.
So I wonder, yeah, here and yeah. So here, hmm, they show the similar article by the way, but yeah, this one interesting.
That is
So I
interesting.
think it's the ancestor of the guitar.
Wow, that's cool.
Mhm. Where I am, okay, I forgot my tab. Hmm. Oh, and this one. Hmm. Many different types of liras.
Hmm.
So I think it's the ancestor of the guitar.
It seems like it very much so could be.
Yeah. And so the guitar was there just to say, okay, let me make more and to have all the different kinds of chords. But of course, with the lyre, you can have 5, 10, 20, 40 different chords,
Hmm.
same in the same instrument. So it's quite interesting when you think about that.
It
Um,
is. It's very interesting.
yeah. So what makes a guitar, a violin, and yeah. So it's sometimes with the words that we set up are creating kind of a blur because we never know if it's like the a species that we find and we don't know if it fits from the monkeys or from the humans.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
it's the same kind of about the dogs. I was watching this kind of video. I was sharing some to you, and I was knowing a new term which is a pitmation, which is a merge between a pit bull and a Dalmatian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of merges in the dog world these days.
yeah. So I wonder. Uh, I wonder if there are instruments that are kind of hybrids.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Yeah. So
I don't know what they I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are.
hmm, well, I was just such amazing now the creativity about that. I'm going to share it right now because you don't see my what I'm seeing right now, but it's kind of a crazy. I was trying to search a merge between a guitar and violin, and then I came to this one. Ooh, violin electric, and here there is this kind of pictures that is it's a bit crazy when you see that. Yeah, quite kind of
Wow.
imaginative. Yeah, yeah. So, by instance, guitar merges with violin.
I don't even think I've seen that before.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a kind of crazy sometimes when you think the yeah, this one, by the way, that's a kind of amazing. No, I truly believe that they can be creative and build instrument that we never see before.
Mm, oh yeah, no doubt.
Hmm. So before ending, let me know in the comments what do you think, thought, and if you have any question. I don't see any question on the comments right now. And Sharon, do you want to explore another instrument?
Um, well, do you have a favorite instrument?
Well, hmm, hmm, I think that my favorite instrument is the drums, but I would say also the cymbals are quite amazing. And
So
I would
let's
say, yeah,
so let's let's explore one of those.
yeah, yeah. So here you have, I'm just checking the weird symbols because I to see if there are symbols that are different, but I don't see so much weirdness. But the most used are in the drum, in the setting. I love this picture by the way because
Hmm.
they're such impressive. Mm, such impressive variety of the
Hmm.
symbols. Yeah, so I'm just going to mm, yeah. So aside that, I don't know if you have an instrument that you would like to show to our audience.
If I have what?
If you have an instrument other than the guitar that you want to show.
Well, I mean, I like you. I like the drums. I like the percussion instruments because there's so many. Like so here in America, the instrument that we refer to as the triangle That's a percussion instrument. There's I forget what you call it, but there's like this wood block that you you play with a drumstick, and that's also
mm,
part of the percussion instruments. So
mm,
I didn't realize how many different instruments fell into the percussion world outside of just drums, you know. But I love,
mm.
like, there's so many different, there's the bongo drums, there's the steel drums, there's so many different instruments that fall into the category of percussion instruments that I love that. I
Yeah,
love that category as well.
yeah. Yeah, I decided I'll share the article later on, but I just decided to be weirdo, so I decided to show the weirdest drum instrument. And here it's glass glass harmonica, which is amazing. I've never seen that before. Let's hear.
The water tuning and have a lot. So here's a little bit from the Lucia. And Mozart also wrote some music.
That's amazing because we never thought that it's a drum instrument.
Yep. No, I
Yeah,
didn't even know, this thing existed.
yeah. Then there is the cajon, which is this one. Let's hear. Oh, love it.
I love it too.
And then the agogo bells.
Oh, that's the one I was
lower
talking
pitch
about.
bell.
Oh yeah.
They're joined by a piece of metal, which acts as the handle to hold the bells.
Oh, maybe no, that's
You
not what I
hold
was
the
talking about.
bells
No, no.
Like,
vertically. You can also place the stick inside the bell to create a sustained sound, or in between the two bells to create a double pitched sound. And you can also play the bells and pull the two bells together to create a tapping sound.
Yeah, and then there is a slit drum. Oh, I love it.
Different than Hassan's.
So
See this one?
the vibra slap. Vibra slap. Wow.
Hey kids, welcome back. I'm one called the Quijada,
Oh
and
yeah.
the teeth rattle. You can use your palm. You can use your fist. Whatever you do, don't hit this side because it's not made to be hit. This is the rattle side. This is the striking side. Now, if you do want to hold it this way, you could move the instrument and strike it on your hand like this.
Well, it's kind of simple. And then there's the guiro. This.
yeah, I like that one.
Hmm. Could be any plastic stuff, that you
Mm-hmm.
can use. In fact, it's amazing. And then the tabla that we all know. I love the in, by the way.
Me
And
too.
yeah, so it's really amazing. I think it's the ancestor of the handpan.
Mm-hmm.
There is this one water phone, and I'd bet there is water inside, but I don't know. So let's discover. Oh, 31 minutes. I'm going next. Oh yeah.
But you hear the difference. You might want to go with a cheap bow. The other thing you can use, by the way, these are bass bows.
It's incredible the creativity they are doing. The break drum is this one.
Or the upbeat. Or whatever other rhythm the song calls for. But some of them resonate more, some of them don't. This is not like a main mix.
And then the DAF. I was not knowing that. Ooh, I know that. Yeah. Was not knowing that it was a DAF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love it. Even in your kitchen, you can make music. That's
Yep.
amazing. And then there is the djembe, of course, the most famous.
Mm-hmm.
They are truly creative. Then the rain stick.
Yep.
To play
I've
the
heard
rain
that a lot.
stick, first you're going to make sure that all the filling is down at one end.
Yep.
So make sure it's all the way down there. Then you can turn it so it's about at a 45-degree angle. And I like to rotate the stick in my hand as the filling is running down.
And of course, the castagnette, that's common in the Spanish culture.
Mm-hmm.
The hang drum, the one that I was talking about, the kind of UFO.
Mm-hmm.
The taiko, oula, I love it, by the way. That's amazing. Quite big, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's
Not the
very
kind
big, eh?
Not the kind of thing you are playing at home.
No.
Your neighbors will be crazy.
Yep.
It's kind of physical. You don't need to beat on the gym after that. The
Yep.
thunder drum, first time I have seen that.
This is going to be bad. You know it's a good sign when it sounds creepy and all you've done.
Kind modern, huh? And so that was it. I think I'm going to stop now and to go back. I don't see. Do I see any comment right now? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are pretty much what I said in the beginning. is just that I love music, and I love to explore different instruments and different sounds. And I find I'm a very auditory person, so I find sounds to be either very comforting and soothing, or I can find them to be very annoying and um, tension producing. But I love all kinds of music, and I love I find that, one of my ways to take care of myself and self care is to really connect with sound. Maybe the sounds of nature, or the sounds of the rain, rain or birds or the wind, things like that. So, um, and so, for me, music is very, music can be very comforting and calming. But I also find that music can, if I'm in a really intense space, maybe I'll turn on some music that has some really intense sound to it, some really dramatic sound, and I'll really get into the tension of it, and like release that way. And then sometimes I'll release the other way when I'm in tension, where I'll listen to very calming music and stuff like that. So, um, those are my final thoughts. I don't think, here in America, we do encourage musical, education and art education, but we don't encourage it as much as we used to. And I do think that there are some school districts that have gotten done away with it completely. And I think that's I think that's sad, because I think that music has a very profound effect on people emotionally, but it's also proven to have a very profound effect on the brain, and
Mm.
and our emotions, and the brain's development. So I think that we need to encourage people to use the arts more, to use music and singing and instruments and dancing and all the things, um, to take care of themselves, to explore, to learn about themselves and about the world and about life. And so those are some of my final thoughts on the subject for today.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I was wondering also, because this question me a bit weird, but I was asking to you anyway. But are you dancing, even though you are not dancing with your two legs? Are you dancing?
I dance all the time. So to me, the joke. Okay, so you can dance from in your wheelchair, or using your
Mhm.
crutches, or whatever your mode of uh, mobility is. But there used to be a joke in my family that when we would go to a wedding or some kind of event, that I would do the table dancing, the table chair dancing, where I would just dance in my chair sitting at the table. Yeah, for me, dancing is moving. It's movement to music. And
Mm.
so um, I actually have a friend who is a full-time wheelchair user, and he is a professional dancer. Um,
Mm.
he dances with a troupe where they have individuals who have disabilities and use wheelchairs, and they have also fully able-bodied dancers. And the way they choreograph the routines is absolutely beautiful. Um, they incorporate the able-bodied dancer with, he has an able-bodied partner, and the way they just incorporate her moves with his moves, and they incorporate his wheelchair into the whole thing. It's really beautiful to see. So yeah, I may not dance the conventional way, or what people view as the conventional way, but yeah, I dance. I dance around my kitchen. I dance in my living room. I dance in my bedroom. Um, I sing. Um, I, I've always
Yeah.
been, I've always been very musically inclined. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important to use our voice, and sometimes Even if we are on public, we can hum. The power of soothing our nervous system using our sound, our voice.
Mhm.
Because recently I've been having an interesting video of, you see a dog that is so stressed, but then on the grooming phase, and then there was another person that was singing near this dog, and this dog was more
Mhm.
calm. So the power of singing is really amazing when
Mhm.
we can use our best instrument, our best human instrument, that are our voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you have any question for me before I close the room? Because I'm happy to welcome the unexpected.
Um, I I'm curious. I guess in line with the topic of today, and I know how much you connect with words and lyrics and music and the melodies of music. Where did that start for you? You know, like how did that how did your connection to music start for you?
Well, I think, and I was not noticing that before, but I think the best is the rhythm of my heart when I was even within my mom's chest, and
Mm-hmm.
the music of her heart beating with mine. That's for when it started on
That's
the origin.
beautiful.
Yeah, and then to realize that I had musical instrument. I had also playing with xylophones, which is the
Mm-hmm.
wood, and the drum on the wood,
Mm-hmm.
which is and for me it's more about listening more to my heart, listening more to my body, and to use my body as an instrument, not probably to make music, but to bring the light into this world. And it's like to really have an angel voice, and also to realize that I can have a balance between the unexpected and the structure, the planning, because not like oh, let's do having an orchestra. We cannot do it on the fly. We have to say, okay, look, but I need a violin, I need a drum, I need a oboe, I need, and this is in advance. But the first and foremost instrument that we had many many thousand years ago was our voice, and probably also our hands, to communicate, like the tam tam, to communicate messages. Because at some point we were able to do it with our voice, but we were so far that the only way for us to express was to use the sound of our hands, drumming, to communicate some messages. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it starts with us, with the voice. The instruments are extension of our body, because we can play instrument with our parts of our body, but it
Mm-hmm.
starts with our body, because without a hand to manipulate something, there is no sound. So it's like we are still essential. We can do it with AI, but the best way is from our hearts, from humans. So that's my final thought.
I love that, Ollie.
Mm,
I love everything about what you just said. Every every syllable of what you just said resonates with my heart, and
mm, mm.
I think that is so beautiful. Um, and
Thank you.
honestly and truly, it is so you. It is so you,
Thank
and
you.
you are just an amazing human being. And with every conversation, every interaction we have, I just learned so much more about you, and it just it just makes me appreciate the friendship that we have and the connection and collaborations that we've created together, it makes me appreciate them even that much more. Um, it's a to watch the evolution of Ali, and to be a part of your evolution is just, it warms my heart, and it's just beautiful. And I
And
thank you for letting me be a part of it.
thank you, and so do I. It's a partition. We need to be together in resonance if we want to create this world a better place. So with that, my friends, I'm going to close the room, and thank you so much, Sharon, for joining. And see you next Tuesday. And
Well,
always feel free. Yeah.
before you close, I just want to once again, one last time, say how honored and what a privilege I feel it is to be invited to your shows and to your rooms. And what an honor and a privilege it is to not only be able to call you a colleague and a collaborator, but a friend. And I thank you, Ali.
Thank you.